you. Yes, we are the Rock Ensemble, and we come from all over the country. Founded this group 6 months ago to bring popular music in a new way to audiences that reaches new audiences and allows us to do what we do best as musicians. And the people in my group are from all over the country, and they are former students of mine, former saxophone students at various universities where I've taught. And they have come from Texas, Michigan, North Carolina, Tennessee, Georgia, and Maryland to be a part of this meeting.
Now, saxophone seems to be the central instrument in most of the compositions. Is that the way that you designed it originally?
Yes, 8 saxophones, jazz piano, and a drummer. Yes, we wanted to combine the rhythm section of a rock band, the rhythm section of a jazz combo with 8 saxophonists.
Very good. So, do you travel together?
This is our first week together. It's been a project we've had in the works for about 9 months, and this is our very first week together. So we needed to test it out. We needed to see what works, what doesn't work, who our audience is. So we've basically been here in Washington since last Tuesday, 5 days, working about 12 hours a day.
Now, you're below grade right now. We're in the sub-level where the breakfast is served on brunch on Sunday prior to your presentation. You did have a presentation this morning.
Yes.
I understand you jammed on 2 songs.
We jammed on 2 songs, Stevie Wonder and Radiohead, and also Snow Patrol. Yes.
Okay. Now, if you can save the Michael Jackson, I know you did that last night. I don't know if you're going to redo that, if you plan on redoing anything tonight. We have a church service, so you probably have appropriate material for that as well, right?
Yes, yes. What you're going to hear at the church service this morning is different than what we played last night. Some of the stuff we'll play again, but we've got some things that work beautifully just for 8 saxophones.
Okay.
More of a choir feel.
Okay. And how did you meet this gentleman here?
Well, Connie and I met many, many years ago when I was an undergraduate student, and I played for her. She was down in residency with a quartet she was a member with at the time. And I played for her and actually played a piece that I had arranged. And so we started talking and things like that, and sort of found out, and I said, well, I arranged some stuff, like this one. You would be interested? And he kind of said like, yeah, sure, we'll see. So about a month later, I sent them a huge thing of basically everything that I had for saxophone quartet, and they read it and enjoyed the material, and I was glad for that. And ever since then, we've been working together in one capacity or the other. So
you made a sale. You made a sale.
Put it lightly.
Yeah, but I have a question about that. Speaking of the business side of this, and how can you afford to produce a program like this? I mean, does the community support you, or how does it rank?
We received a very generous grant from the Friends of Southwest DC, which is a nonprofit organization in the Southwest neighborhood that exists to better the community. And 1 year ago, they gave the group that I was in at that time a grant to be here around the holidays to share music with the community. Amadon Bowen Elementary School we performed at, and we performed a community concert here at the church, and we performed for the breakfast. And when this group was being formed a few months ago, I reached out to them again, and I said, even though I don't live in Southwest DC anymore, would you be interested in funding this? And their generosity, as well as what we received at the door last night from the concert, allowed us to offset some of the expenses. Not all of them. We knew going into it this month we would be paying to do this, which is what we've done.
So it's still a labor of love for you.
It's a total labor of love.
But do you have aspirations to develop, a brand, a rock ensemble?
Oh my gosh, absolutely. We needed to get through this week to see how it went, because this was the first time we tested out any of this music together. We hadn't played together in this ensemble, so we are so inspired, and we will have a brand. I promise that.
Before we get a demonstration, we'll see you again upstairs in just about a half an hour or so.
Yes.
I want to ask you about the musical compilations, and you've chosen certain artists to style your own compositions by, and I know you too. That's part of the draw, is that you wanted to be a part of something that could be popular.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So whose idea was that?
It was initially my idea, But the moment I shared it with Jose, he's the first person I called to say, hey, I have an idea. This happens a lot in our collaborations together. The moment that happened, it unfolded so organically. I talked to Jose. I said, would you be interested in arranging this? Do you hear it like I'm hearing it when we heard these rock tunes? Do you think there's potential here? And his answer was absolutely. And we started sharing it with the current members of the group, and they were 100% behind it.
Okay, now, so how do you interpret? Now, I know there must be a business behind all of this when you're copying or sort of sampling. So how do you, when you're thinking about taking the two on the road, how do you work that out? Do you have a business professional that you work with? Kind of, is there artist rights involved? I mean, how do you?
Not yet. We haven't. This has been all self-produced so far, and everyone in the group has contributed. So our next step is to form a group of people aboard to help us, because I think it's quickly going to become too much work for us to do ourselves, and we need some bigger ideas and support. So we will, absolutely. That's going to be phase 2. We've described this week as phase 1. Let's get through phase 1. Let's assess it. Let's see, are we all able to continue doing this? Do we feel it? And we all do. So
can you make a living?
Yeah, probably not yet on this. And a lot of these people are in school still, in universities, graduate school programs, and we're going to see if we can make our schedules work. Maybe a lot of summer work, maybe one tour per season, one tour in the fall, one tour in the spring, and that's going to be contingent upon funding.
Okay. Are we going to hear any original compositions? I know last night you have a video of last night's performance, so we'll be able to see that. Are we going to hear any original compositions from you in the near future?
That remains to be seen. I wouldn't be surprised.
We have talked to a couple of composers, and I think what they're waiting for is to see something, to see a video, because it is so experimental and something that hasn't been heard before. Initially, composers may tread lightly or maybe say, well, I just don't understand it. But now that we have this product to show people, we think that there's something that may come around from that.
Okay. So, it's good to hear that you're gestating on this, that this could be a big year for you, a breakout year for you of 2012.
That's what it feels like.
And this is one of your debuts here tonight at St. Augustus in Southwest Washington, D.C. We're going to see you right upstairs, Rock Ensemble. Thank you so much for sharing with the community. Hopefully everyone that's here and has come to the breakfast will be interested and come upstairs and take a look.
Thank you.
Okay? We'll see you there.
Of course, we know the hidden intent of Herod's heart, as it is later enacted by the killing of all the innocent children in Bethlehem. The 3 kings come with their gifts to a stable full of smells and earth, animals, poverty. And what it is they see there, what it is that touches them, so that the only thing they can do is drop to their knees. What happened to us today? Maybe it has. It happened for me, standing in the back, listening to the prelude. This week has been a gift that a few young people have journeyed to bring to this stable, this kind of crazy place. It has been an amazing week for me, just standing outside of it all and watching the gifts be given. I watch that every day, every week with all of you. as you come and go and give your gifts to the world. My prayer today, and my prayer for all of you in the rock ensemble. I don't know if many of you get sermons every week, so this is kind of for you. My prayer is that you will have been changed in a very deep way by the journey and your time here. And that you will know that it isn't that you have just given us gifts, but that you leave with a greater gift that has happened in the mystery of this time that you have spent here. That is, in a way, symbolic for all of us. That every Sunday we come to reenact the story of the travelers, the seekers, those who long to find something greater than themselves. And who learn over time to worship and adore, be gift receivers and gift givers in the greatest possible human sense of that word. So the great questions of this journey of Epiphany, which began on the 6th, on Friday, goes through 40 days, the season of Epiphany. The questions for our traveling together. I hope you carry with you from this place. What is it in our lives that leads us to God? What's our star? What are the signs in our lives that point us in the right direction? What is it in our lives that leads us to God, opens us to God? What are the gifts that we bring? Oh, that we would all be so talented. But our wonderful Epiphany hymns remind us of how small our gifts are. What if I were a wise man? I would do my part. What can I give him? Give him my heart. Of all the gifts that God treasures, there is a lovely two-liner in one of our hymns that answers that question. Of all the things that God treasures, richer by far is the heart's adoration. Dearer to God are the prayers of the poor. The gifts we bring are simple and meager. There are attempts day to day to love one another, to forgive and be forgiven, to be peacemakers, to be doers of justice. the most important question of Epiphany is, what is the gift that we encounter and take away? What does it mean to come together as a community of people of faith? What is it that we encounter every week in each other, in the Eucharist, in the music, in the Word spoken to us, in the depths of our own hearts? We don't leave this place with a gift, then we leave poorer than we came. So we should always be conscious of that question. What is it, the gift of this time together? This time when we come to the manger. And how, as we go out of this place and travel on, are we changed? Sometimes I leave this place feeling like the same old person. And I wish for a weekly miracle to happen.